Good morning. I'm Sallie Bacon. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I started playing bass when I was 11 in public school orchestras and played just kind of casually. Like I never took lessons or anything during high school. And then I went to college and I was like, I found out that the only way to play in the orchestra was to be a music major. So I was like, well, I guess I have to be a music major because I have to, like, I can't imagine life without orchestra. So I was a music major. Yeah. Yeah, and then I ended up getting a master's degree in music as well. So yeah, but we're going to learn about the double bass today. I wasn't sure if there would be bass players here. Like, I didn't know how to tailor this workshop, so I think we're going to play. I've got some charts, and we're going to play learn how to play the bass, learn how to play bass lines.
Sure. Great.
Maybe. Because, like, yeah, the bass player is kind of, we're often apart because we're doing different things. We don't play melodies, we don't play chords. I mean, sometimes, but in general, we don't play melodies, we don't play chords. So our job is to be rhythmic and announce chord changes. So we are chordal, but not multi. No, we're like chords, we're the basic. Yeah. We're laying down the roots. Like Chris last night was saying, he listens to the bass. You know, a lot of people know when can tell if they're playing the right chord or whatever because of what the bass player is playing. And we get tasked with keeping the tempo, which I don't think is fair, by the way. They're like, you let us speed up. I'm like, why did I let us speed up?
It's the best alternative.
Yeah, but why?
Unless you got a chopping mandolin.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. The chop, yeah. I'm really classically trained, and I'd never played bluegrass until I met Brian. And so getting used to that chop, just like this thing in your ear, like that was difficult to get used to. It's funny, bluegrass is like, well, we'll talk about all like genres and what notes you choose based on the genre, but bluegrass is really simple in terms of the chords. It's often just 3 chords, or it's often just like the 1-4-5 chord, and the bass player is really only playing the root and the fifth. So you might only play 6 notes the entire song, but the groove is it's a difficult groove for me to get into. Maybe it's easy for the bass is tuned in fourths, like the bottom 4 strings of a 6-string guitar, exactly the same notes. So like you said, the bass, people rely on it, and so our main job is to play on the downbeat. This is where we play on the major beats to announce the time, the change, to keep the time. We're keeping the time. And different genres, you might play different amounts of notes. So like bluegrass, you're typically playing the big beats. Like if it's in 4, you're playing on the 1 and the 3. Does anybody want to play this with me? Do we guys?
I'll give it a try.
It's funny when you get a chart and it's in 4/4 or 2/4, you kind of never actually know what it's in, because like this is in 4/4, but I would think about it, and to me it's in 2. All right, 1, 2, ready, go. How about I give like a couple measures?
Okay, yeah.
I'll do the whole verse.
Okay.
And I'll just let's see. That's fast, isn't it? Let's do this. Let's have me play melody and you guys play the bass line.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So what you're going to do is play the root and the fifth of every chord. Do we know what that is?
I think we can do it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, I don't know it. So you're going to play an E on beat 1, and then a B on beat 3, and then a a D and A on beats 1 and 3 for the following measure. Yeah. Awesome. All right. That tempo?
Is that right?
That's good, yeah. 1, 2, ready, go. Cool. This is like typical bluegrass where we've got 3 chords, although it's a 7 chord, not a 4 chord.
Do you usually do open strings for that for playing the
Yeah, and bluegrass is real typical where you would go down to the 5th.
So is it better then to try to look for the roots on either your so it would probably be better just to look for roots on either the G string or the D string.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can go the other way, of course, but like real I when I want to mix it up, I do root bottom at the bottom, and then yeah, so sometimes you have like a stretch of 5 1 chords or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have that many 1 chords in a row, instead of just doing for whatever, you can do.
So you said the bluegrass is generally 1 and 3, like
1 5.
1 5. Well, I meant like on the beats though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the big beats.
Big beats are 1 and 3, and then you're doing. So you play your root typically on 1. And
Yes, and then the 5th. Yeah.
Gotcha.
1 and 3. If it's in 4, if it's in 2, it's just the downbeat of every measure. Because in folk music, it really is mostly 1 and 5. What notes you're playing the root and the 5th, and then you can do. Little walk-ups. And also, okay, like if you look at this chart, the Shady Grove, when you go from the G chord to the D chord, the 5 of the G is the D. So I don't necessarily like to play 2 Ds in a row, especially when the D is a chord change.
It's misleading.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll often just play 2 Gs or like change octaves. Or I like to throw in other notes. I don't know. Sometimes I get in trouble with bluegrass because
Like, so if you did a chromatic into it,
yeah, you could.
D, it's still okay.
Yeah. Or, well, I guess you wouldn't use a C sharp. You can, it's any, yeah, you can choose any notes. I like it. I get in trouble sometimes because I like to try new things and not just play the same notes over and over again. But I also have found that, because bluegrass is kind of new to me, that I would be like, are you sure all I'm supposed to do is just sit here and play the root and 5th? And Brian's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I listen to other bass players, I'm like, that's what they do. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay. You can just do that. And it's perfectly adequate and perfectly...
In fact, often preferred.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're doing your job.
A-train?
Yeah. Never played that melody. So on a swing tune, instead of playing on the major, on the 1 and the 3, or like the big beats, you're going to play on every note. And that's when the walking bass lines come in. Because then in swing or jazz, they want you to play other notes. You're allowed to play other notes. And you can be a lot more creative in what notes you do play. Good notes to play always are leading tones. So I might do 1, root 5, and then throw a 3rd in there, the 3 of a chord to outline the triad. And sometimes you can do chromatic leading notes. So if you're going from the C to the D. C sharp to D. It's a good one. Ooh, and we've got a flat 5. That's exciting.
That's hilarious. That's exciting.
It's really small. You can see it. You can play the flat 5. So flat 5 is going to sound weird. I like it. Yeah. When you have a swing chart, and this one actually, that's the most exciting chord we've got. We've got a 7 with a flat 5. I'm not sure how a flat 5 would really sound. The melody note is the flat 5, so it would be okay. Sometimes when you have those crazy chords, the bass player really doesn't have to follow it necessarily, because your job is still to be the foundation. So you still do want to do the main, like, keep us on the path. In fact, like last night when we were playing at the finale, the Irish tune.
Oh yeah.
So the rule of root 5th, it doesn't always apply. It almost always applies, but sometimes it doesn't, especially with music that's not like the Irish song or like the.
Yeah, my understanding of Irish and bass.
Is it
historically that doesn't really. They didn't like carry because there's such a hidden kind of thing. Like you don't have massive instruments you carry or anything that would carry sound like that. Distance and stuff. But I don't know. That's just what I've heard. But I was wondering, how do you address those kinds of gigs?
Well, yeah. So I've never played Celtic music. I mean, like you just said, it's not a bass isn't really fit in that genre, but. So we start to play, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we got a C chord. I'm gonna play a C and a G. Well, it doesn't sound good to play the root and 5 in that music. It doesn't go somehow. So I mostly just played roots in that, just like, yeah, roots, and then leading tones, and thirds. A lot of times, actually, what I found, like with the Balkan stuff that we did yesterday, when the 5 doesn't sound right. The 3rd sounds really nice, which is interesting because like often if you play the 3rd, like in bluegrass, or if you're laying down the chords and you play a 3rd, it doesn't sound quite right, it doesn't fit. But in the Balkan stuff and the Celtic, it seemed to work. And I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it's because they're based on different scales, or if it's more melodic. And less rhythmic. I don't know. So you do, experiment.
For A Train, for example, you could do the root in the 5th, right? So that would be that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But you could also so when you're talking about putting it in other scale tones, are you talking about just doing like that type of thing, or
yes.
are you talking about like chromatic notes in between, or?
you can do both. I wouldn't do like a whole scale in that 2 measures, because but you could jump around, just choose what you like. It's kind of exhilarating to me, reading a chart while the music's going, because you're having to choose it on the fly.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, knowing patterns, like 135. But which you guys with fretted instruments, I think, is a lot easier or more intuitive, I think. From my perspective, coming to fretted instruments later, I'm like, oh, it's so much easier to know to have a shape that you follow on a fretted instrument, which is cool.
I'm a little confused though by that, because you still have your shapes, right? I mean, fretless or not.
Yeah, but when you look at it, it's a vast expanse of whatever. So I don't know. It might just be the way I learned and my brain, but it's hard for me to maintain.
You play notes instead of shapes.
Yeah.
Whereas with a fret, you
Yes.
play shapes and not thinking of notes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Are you an upright player? Yeah, I play electric a little bit. I mean, I have electric dreams. I'd love to play electric in a band. Well, it's so different. I don't know what note I'm playing. I'm playing shapes. I'm like, I know where my root note is, but like, I'm not thinking about, I'm going to play an E flat now. I'm playing in a shape, and it's the same instrument, but it's a totally different mind thing. But maybe other people learned shapes, but I learned orchestral stuff. I learned classical. So you're not thinking, I didn't even know what a chord was.
Right.
Until college, probably. Or until like...
you this is what you see, this is what you play.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that, so you're saying shapes are done more by the fretted instruments, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And you're just thinking of it as notes then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, right, I'm gonna play an E flat now, not like I'm just gonna.
This makes more sense now. Yes, there's the whole shape thing.
I mean, it's still shapes. It's
Yeah.
Playing, but it's
it's
here
Mhm.
where you're thinking.
Also, you're not looking as much. Like, it's a different visual. You can see it all laid out right in front of you when you're playing this way, as opposed to this. You're kind of like, to look at it, you have to.
So when you were studying, do you talk about, like in music school and stuff like that, did they, I guess you have to take music theory and stuff like that, so you still talk about intervals and things?
Yeah.
1 and 5 since
Yeah.
Okay. Triads, they still,
Yeah.
that's all in the chip.
Yeah. Yes. It was so classical heavy where I went to school. There was no jazz, folk, nothing at all. I was in a I chose to do jazz ensemble and learned a little bit, but it was so classical heavy. I felt like it was kind of deficient. Like, this is a music school, and had to figure it all out. Did we figure that out? Did I answer that question? Not really.
Yeah, I think so. So, but I mean, I guess the idea is, so this on the 1 and 3, we should be trying to play like a root and a fifth or something like that, right? But then the stuff in between could possibly be chromatic. It could be thirds. It could be other things, octaves.
Yes,
something like
absolutely.
that.
Yes, it could be that has a C6. C6. You could throw
An A in there.
Yeah. Like I might do. Something, and that was pretty much all chord tones.
So you think where you are, where you're going, and how
Yeah.
many beats do you have to get there, so whether you throw in a chromatic or not
Yeah.
on the way where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I play the regular guitar and hear what a bass line would
Yeah,
sound like with that?
absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4. I heard you putting a lot of chromatic stuff.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm bad. I know. I do that. I'm not bad, but that's the yes. Let's see. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's my default is just to throw notes in there sometimes, and then
I don't mind it. It's good. It's just for a learner. It's kind of hard to.
I'm having it. Yeah. All right. Let's do it again.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So that was a lot more.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, it's like all right. Yeah.
How far do you generally look ahead, like when you're going for a target, like chord change?
It depends on how well I know the song. Yeah. It's often flying by the seat of your pants. So a couple measure or like you're like a measure. You see the next one, and you're like, okay. That kind of makes me think of the in my my description when it says, why can they be stricken with terror when offered a solo? Because you as a we don't play melodies, right? So we've never played melodies before. So I think it helps to know the melody. I'm transitioning here. That's why I printed charts with the melody, because a lot of times we'll get a chart and it just has chords.
Yep.
So you don't know. So it really helps to know the song in terms of like, yeah, how far ahead are you looking? If you know the song, it's you know what it sounds like, so it's a lot easier. So you don't have to like look, But
I've heard even like learning even guitar. It's like learn the straight melody first, then go back and do the other bits.
That was one of the things I wanted to say. Is yes, I think bass players get it's kind of an injustice that we don't know the melodies. We don't get to see the melodies, and so yeah, when you are offered a solo or when you get a chance to solo, it's you don't have anything to go off of because you don't know, you've never played the melody, not only of the song that you're doing, but also just in general. I've never played a melodic instrument, so my mind doesn't know how to create a melody. That's what I'm working on currently, and my bass playing is soloing, because I never did it until recently. So it's so I found that learning the melody helps so much with that.
At least it's
so much.
It's like I say an outline or whatever in my mind. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just it's not that you have to play it straight, but you have to. But in your mind, you know where you're at, and then you can deviate and still kind of keep it looking.
Yeah.
Like a solo, but it's still recognizable.
Yeah.
Enough, right?
Also, a bass solo is often like you'll hear people just walk it, which is great. I mean, I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think it's cool. But you can also just play the straight up melody and people will like that because you don't often get to hear the bass player do the melody, if you know the melody. The other thing about soloing is that the bass line drops out. So that's all I ever hear is a bass line. You know, I mean, it's so ingrained, you know, the feeling of the bass line. So when it's not there, I don't know where I am. I have no idea where I am because my rhythmic structure has just disappeared. And again, not being a melodic player, it's like it's really tricky.
Other instruments drop out too when you take.
Yeah, they often just kind of they back up a lot.
Yes.
Which is they want people to hear you. It's nice.
I know, but still. It's like,
Yeah.
But it's, you know, I've always, you know, you talk about like when people play just, because it always bothered me when people are like, oh, a bass solo, you know, like, no, I'd rather stick to, I mean, to me it's a very cool, like, sticking with rhythm, and like, especially if there's drummers, if the drummer's there, it's even better, like, because people love bass and drums, you know,
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
you get, and everything kind of drops out for just a few measures, and you're, like, that's a really cool feel, you know,
Mhm.
and so I never really cared for the spotlight of a
Mhm.
bass solo either. I tend to make it just more of a groove.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And people get into that too.
Yeah, they do. I feel like bass solos, it'd be cool. Like last night with Pat, it was just on a D drone. It's like, that's excellent. Because then you don't have to think, because part of the stress of a solo is like these chord changes. And yeah, you're just so used to the root and 5 and the third, and it's scary. It's very scary. It can be scary.
When you're going from one chord to the other, you were just asking about like how far you look ahead, right? I mean, part of that is kind of targeting what that next chord root is going to be.
Yeah,
right? So,
definitely.
So do you do like, so if it's in 4/4, would you do like a minor third below so you walk up? Like
Yeah.
to that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That one's hard for me on the fly. Maybe it's that not knowing shapes thing on this upright, but yeah, that's very good. Yeah, definitely.
So no, it's very, yes, it's basis. I think like it's, the first thought is, you know, we're always targeting that root note, right? But there's times when you change it. So what are your thoughts on when you do come into, let's say, the 5th or whatever of the chord as opposed to
Yeah. Like on the first,
Not a-
on beat 1.
yeah, beat 1, you know.
I might do that if it's the second measure of the same chord.
Right.
Okay, yes. Change it up.
Yeah, or as a mistake often. It can be a
But you've
mistake.
established it at that point at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on the F measure, you've got 4 measures
Yes,
of F.
right.
That one's
That's a perfect, yeah, that's
Yes.
a perfect example, right?
Hmm. And that's when you want to change octaves.
you need
and
to change something up there,
Yeah.
or it'll get boring.
Mhm. It's cool with these tunes that just repeat, is you can figure it out too. Like you're like, okay, wait, that did not sound good. Next time around, I'm not gonna do that again. Like,
Yeah, so for that F, I'm just still thinking in terms of just the bass groove part, but in for that long measure of the 4 bars of F, could you put in like 6s, or could you show me just what you would do for the 4 measures of F? What that would
yeah, I
sound
mean,
like?
if I wanted to use a 5, it's the 5. And then I'd probably go straight. Actually, you know, if I landed on the 5, I wouldn't want to play the F on the 2 on the second beat of the measure, because that might throw people off. Because then you're landing on the
Right.
the root.
So
in
then
the
what, would you repeat the 5 or go back?
Yeah,
to
I might
maybe?
repeat the 5 or go back to the 3rd. Let's
Sorry.
see if it was like. So that whole second measure of the F you might not play the F, but you would see outline leading tone, something like that, or yeah. I mean, there's so many. It's that whole balance thing, like these are the rules and then these are how you break the rules, and then how often do you follow the rules, and that's also who you're playing with and what style of music you're doing. And I really love the bass players that well, okay, and then another genre thing is when you have a drummer, it changes things for what you do. Do you find that too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because you don't have to hold down the beat quite so much, so you can play a little bit with the rhythm, which I really enjoy. I like to throw triplets and stuff in. I can't do it on this. I can't really do anything on this page.
For this, yeah, so
Yep.
okay, so that's the
Yep.
no, it's it. No.
You can just do A, E for the A measure.
Okay.
Oh, were you trying to add more stuff? Yeah.
Do you have to kind of deaden the strings, or do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Here, you want to? I'll play the melody with you.
Okay.
1, 2, ready, go. Wait.
Okay, sorry, one more.
No, it's hard. Because again, it's in 4, but is it in 4 or is it in 2? Okay. Also, I'm not playing what's written in the melody because I don't think this melody's right.
All right. 1, 2, 3,
Ready.
go. Yeah, that's
Yeah?
I got it.
You wanna
Okay.
start from the
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
section?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, go.
I'm sorry. Yeah, cool.
And that's interesting because we don't change to G till the second measure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's a D and then there's a G. So it's just a quick one there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that's how so much of this, since it's past by ear,
Yes.
changes from one person.
Yes.
Which you don't like that melody,
Right.
but I know that melody.
Okay. Yeah, to me, I was like, Brian printed this out. I'm like, that's not the melody.
But there's so many Lizas. There's little Liza and
Yeah.
big Liza and
Yeah.
Liza and
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
It's got some power to it.
This one does. It really does. It's just if you can
Kinda feel
get it out. Yeah.
So would you're talking about changing the action a little bit. Would that simply require changing the bridge, putting in a new bridge?
No, I have bridge adjusters. Lots of bases have.
Blocking underneath, okay.
Yeah, well, there's actually like metal screws, and you can raise and lower your bridge.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my action's pretty low, and I'm like, maybe I should, because it's fun to be able to really go for it and not have their strings snap.
This was your. It starts in F, right? So
Oh, the melody,
FD.
yeah.
Sure. Is it?
A.
Is it
Right
A?
there.
Is it
That's an
I don't even read notation, so.
A. Oh.
And then it goes up to, or back down to. Is it, I'll go back to myself. I am a shape person, aren't I?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Okay. And I know I'm supposed to probably be playing with two
You know, that
fingers and all
bass is
stuff.
too hard. I can't do it that way. I've been playing just like just orchestra pits. Yeah. Even higher up, it'll be easier to. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Alright. So,
Do
I don't know this song actually.
Well, do you want to
either, but-
play the bass line?
Sure. It's already marked here, right?
No,
it.
that's the melody.
Oh, that's melody. Okay,
Yeah.
written. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we could just. So we just.
So this is an example of where you're playing on the 1 and the 3 because it's a 4.
Right about there.
You can play open
Around
too.
D. Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I think you're okay.
because you know
Yes.
I'm a shape person. There's my A. Alright.
You want to do it?
Yeah, anybody else? You want to try this? Alright, we'll play the. Along with. You're going to play the melody
Yeah.
again? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Got it, guys? 1, 2, ready, and.
Yeah.
Okay, something like.
Yeah,
That's
you,
good.
you can play that
Hilarious.
thing, like get the little extra notes
Oh
in
my
there.
gosh. Well,
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
thanks.